Hello and welcome to this episode of Eric Reviews. Today, we're not looking at a video game, but an idea. An idea that sent fear deep into the hearts of countless preteens in the early 2010s.
Look at this photograph.
Okay, no more memes. Seriously, look at it. Now at a glance, it may not seem too unusual, but in the background stands a very unnerving figure. This image, along with a second, was posted in a Photoshop contest thread on the Something Awful forums by Victor Surge on June 10, 2009. They were accompanied with brief descriptions, further adding to their mysterious nature. We didn't want to go. We didn't want to kill them, but its persistent silence and outstretched arms horrified and comforted us at the same time. 1983, photographer unknown, presumed dead. One of two recovered photographs from the Sterling City Library blaze. Notable for being taken the day which 14 children vanished and for what is referred to as the Slender Man. Deformities cited as film defects by officials. Fire at library occurred 1 week later. Actual photograph confiscated as evidence. 1986, photographer Mary Thomas, missing since June 13, 1986. This, right here, is the very first appearance of the Slender Man. Since this simple forum post, the Slender Man has been known to the world as a tall, faceless humanoid with long, black tentacles protruding from its back. It's almost Lovecraftian in nature. This monster that cannot be understood, affects the minds of children, and can't even be captured properly on camera. The reason it has no face, at least originally, was because it appeared to people with the face of a friend or loved one. Since cameras aren't people, this results in the face appearing blank or distorted to technology. Quickly, the concept spread around the internet, becoming a phenomenon on a myriad of websites. In earlier stories about the Slender Man, it's implied to have been this ancient force of nature, and people were quick to connect it to a lot of real-world folklore from centuries past. Of course, its mythos was extended into the present day as well. Only 10 days after this first post, 2 videos were uploaded to YouTube by user Marble Hornets, beginning a long, sprawling, and fantastic series about a group of people's experience with a Slender Man-like creature. Now, I don't have the time to go over it in detail for this video, that'd take about 4 hours, but I'd encourage you to check it out. All we really need to know for our purposes is that this series introduced a lot of the important elements that make up the character's mythos today, and influenced almost every portrayal of it afterward. The most important of these elements by far is the way the Slender Man affects technology, used to great effect in another personal favorite series of mine called Tribe 12 to produce some very unique visual effects. Tribe 12, alongside a variety of comedy YouTubers, was one of my biggest inspirations for getting into editing. I mean, come on, just look at this stuff. I still can't really figure out how most of it's done. Okay, I could probably talk about these videos for ages, but there's just too much to cover. I'll leave this section off by quickly mentioning that one time, I tried my hand at a Slender series. Say hi, past me.
People crossed out there or something, and just stops there, and then freaking...
Whoa, okay, Jesus Christ there. Watch your language, you're like 12 years old. What the f***? Moving on, the first real big boost in popularity for the character came from a small indie game simply titled Slender: The 8 Pages. In the game, get this, you collect 8 pages and avoid the Slender Man. If it catches you, you die. Also, the game incorporates the camera just as Marble Hornets did. If I'm being honest, the game's not great, but I guess it did give me a couple of decent scares. It's like 2.5 pages out of a much better executed interpretation of the character, if I had to give it a rating. So you may be wondering, why did this ever catch on in the first place?
Not crying, okay? God. Oh God, he's right there!
Yeah, the same way any horror game gets big nowadays, but Slender was the first, long before any Five Nights or weird anime dating simulators or anything like that. And hey, this amount of attention caused the game to get a sequel, which improves on the first in pretty much every way possible. And this game, of course, led to the popularity of the aforementioned YouTube series skyrocketing out of control. People really wanted to know what this thing was, all across the internet. It made appearances in TV shows, it was getting people millions of views, there's a reference to it in Minecraft, and it spawned a massive fanbase. Oh god, the fanbase. Okay, you know, the less said about the fanbase, the better. However, sadly, in 2014, the character finally became truly mainstream in the wake of a real-life tragedy in which 2 teenagers stabbed one of their friends 19 times. I'm not going to go into detail on that, but I will let you know that the friend made a full recovery. This event kinda led to a Slender recession of sorts. It certainly made the whole idea a lot less appealing, so the character lay dormant for a few years, until finally, in 2018, Sony released a Slenderman movie in theaters for all of the world to see. And you wanna know how it is?
Oh, you wanna know how it is? You wanna know how the Sony Slenderman movie is? It's horrible! It's horrible! These are the people who keep on messing with Spider-Man and giving Adam Sandler money. Of course, it's horrible. God. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's not good. Bad movie.
Seriously, just don't even bother watching it. Look up some highlight clips on YouTube if you really want to. The movie's fundamental mistake, in my opinion, is making it into a traditional movie. Slender's always been a found footage character. That's how it originated. That's how he's best portrayed. Like, why? Why would you do this? There is no reason to do this. Okay. Okay. As I'm going off script here. As I'm reading the script, I'm getting mad. I'm just thinking about it. Okay, back to the YouTube video I'm making. And well, for now, that's where this story ends. That awful movie is the most recent large-scale production the Slender Man was part of. Honestly, it's pretty depressing just how far he's fallen. I think there was some real potential here to create a new horror icon for the modern age. Stripping away the layers of awful fan art, the bad creepypastas, the terrible movie, the other terrible movie that I don't even want to talk about because it makes me even madder than the first terrible movie, and just looking at the idea on its own, it's still incredibly creepy. And I'm still hopeful that someday, somehow, the Slender Man will get the recognition and the spotlight that it truly deserves. Well, I guess that's about it for now, at least as much as I could say for a quick Halloween video. I give the Slender Man 1 spooky symbol out of 3 screaming people on the internet. Thank you very much for tuning in.